Tara, thanks very much. You're back in town just for a short period of time. How can we get graced by you back for a couple of days?
I like training in Cincinnati. That's
Really?
about it. Yeah, I really like Cincinnati's facilities and training there, so I came back to train here.
You worked hard with Ignition before pre-draft. That made a difference for you.
Yeah, I think it helped. I think Ignition as well as UC's strength staff helped.
Texans come up. I've got to start at the draft if we're okay at doing that, because there was. You were fairly sure that Chicago would take you. You were pretty sure that you might actually go first round. Was there disappointment first with Chicago, and then at 38, you had been told what by the Bengals?
Yeah, as far as the draft goes, it was a surprise. I thought that I would be a first rounder with the amount of meetings and conversations that I had had with people. And then the Bengals had told me that if I was there at 38, they would take me. And 38 came, and 38 went, and I wasn't a Bengal. So
what was the feeling at that time?
I was just, I was a little surprised. I was excited about maybe playing for Cincinnati. Once I got signed out of the first round, I said, all right, maybe I can stay here in Cincinnati and play for the Bengals, and I was excited about that. But after it passed, I said, it is what it is. They must not have thought Ray Maluga was going to be there at 38, so they got who they wanted, and then it was just about seeing what would happen.
All right, and then the Texans hit, and you get set down really as a defensive end, and there was so much question about where you were going to play. You're locked into that spot in Houston?
Yeah, and it's good too for me because I was productive in college playing D-end and rushing the passer. And when you go in the NFL, there's so many things you have to learn. And for me, the most important thing is playing football, and I'm going to be playing the same position that I played in college.
Makes
and I was
a big
productive
difference.
in it. Yeah, and I'm better at rushing the passer with my hand down, which I wouldn't have told you before the draft. I would have said it didn't matter because I would have been available for 3-4 teams. But I can tell you now.
And you happen to be opposite a decent player in Mario Williams on the other side.
Not a bad situation with a couple Pro Bowlers on the team, and one of the best DNs on the other side.
Give me an idea of what your NFL experience has been through these mini camps and trying to get ready for it. What you expected, or is it always something different every day and you have to learn on the go?
You're really learning on the go. All the advice that I've gotten is just, as a rookie, shut your mouth and listen. So, I've kind of kept my mouth closed and I'm just listening to veterans. I had mini camp a couple weeks ago. That went really well. The biggest thing for me in Houston right now is getting used to 100-plus degree heat.
Yeah.
There was no training I could have done in Cincinnati unless I would have been indoors and turned the heat on to get ready for that. So I'm just trying to get used to the heat right now. Other than that, though, things are going pretty good.
You are coming right out of the NFL Rookie Symposium, which is mandatory, a 3-day thing that guys said, oh my gosh, I got to go to this. Your reaction a little different. Did you actually get something out of this? Yeah,
you have to get something out of it. First of all, I got to bond or get to know my 7 other rookies that came in with me at the Texans. And then, obviously you sit there and listen to speakers talk about what you can't do and what you can do. But really what I got out of it was the number of resources that the NFL offers, not only rookies, but, anyone in the NFL, and the benefits that you get once you're an NFL player. So that is what I think a lot of guys grab from it.
Best speech that you heard out of these 3 days? Anybody stick out that you really impacted you?
Willie Brown was the funniest and the most entertaining. Mike Tomlin was very good, but my favorite, and I've heard him speak before, is Chris Carter. The guy is the real deal. He definitely can get people motivated, and he keeps it real, so I appreciate that.
And his impact is on what you need to do and what you need not to do as an NFL player. I know he previewed it as it's all about respecting the NFL.
Yep, it's a lot about respecting the NFL, and the NFL is so good for players now, in the best league now, because of what players before him did and what he did. And so you need to respect and know the history, and then it's about what you have to do to be successful is what he talked about.
All right, let's get into something that you really never talked about when you were going through school, and that is the deafness situation that really nobody while you were going to Cincinnati knew about. You had a problem when you were very young. Your parents didn't even know that you were deaf until very early on because you were a lip reader.
Yep.
Take us through this and why it never became public for you.
Well, I was born deaf, or almost entirely deaf, and my parents didn't realize it until I was about 18 months when I went and saw the doctor, and he told my mom I was deaf, and she turned me around and said, tried to talk to me. I couldn't hear, and she was amazed. Went on to have 4 or 5 major surgeries over the next 10 years.
Benign tumors in the ear canal.
Yeah.
Left ear.
Left ear. And so now today, ever since, I was in 7th, 8th grade, I've been pretty good with it. I haven't had surgery since then. I still have, people that know me, there's a major hole in my left ear, which people notice. But besides that, they don't notice. And really, I never talked about it in college or in high school because I always felt like something I shouldn't talk about, because a lot of people that are born deaf, aren't as blessed as I was to, be able to get my hearing back. So it was something I was kind of iffy about whether I should bring out and talk about. And down in Houston, one of the reporters found out about it and bring it up and wrote a, kind of a nice story about it. So
it is nice.
Now it's out there, and I'm fine with talking about it.
And does it still change? Because you talked about your ability at UC in playing the offensive side of the ball, that when you had left ear to the quarterback, you couldn't hear signals quite as well, and you were slow off the ball.
Yeah, when I played tight end, it did affect me sometime, and I tried to, teach myself once the coaches brought it to my attention that it was a problem. I taught myself to kind of look into the ball, to try to watch. But really, once you move over to defense, it almost can be a benefit to me, because being deaf as a defensive end, almost if you think about it, can be a benefit, because you stop listening to the quarterback and you're purely reacting on movement. And to get a good jump is the most important thing as a pass rusher. And if you're reacting just on ball movement or tackle's first move, that's good.
The whole Connor Barwin story is so heartwarming to watch, and I mean that sincerely. We're really thrilled for your success. Looking forward to seeing you in the NFL. Wish it would have worked out at 38 so we could have kept you for a little bit longer.
Well, thank you, and I'll be back in Cincinnati October 13th to play the Bengals.
We will count on that, and hopefully we will take you down, big man. Thanks so much for coming in. Connor Barwin, best of luck with the Texans. Terry, we'll send it back to you.